Alright, welcome back everyone, Zaf here to my magnifying slashes bootcamp. Yes, that's right, a lot of you, and I mean a ton of you, are doing the skill incorrectly, losing out on a ton of damage. As you can see here, Exhibit A, Exhibit B, and Exhibit C. These are all different ways to use a skill, and basically I would say most of you are right here, Exhibit A. You're losing out on over, 30% damage? Yeah, you do not want to be doing that, so please, watch this video and I'll show you exactly how to use magnifying slashes, or else, yeah, you're getting way less damage than you should. Hopefully, by the end of this video, you'll always be doing this damage right here, Exhibit B, but if you're advanced, you'll do a bit more and do the damage we see here under Exhibit C, but just watch the video, that way you'll see exactly what I mean. And just as we get into it, a very quick reminder to support us yet again. If you were supporting me before, it's removed. You're no longer supporting me. It was reset for the brand new season from 20,000 to 6,000 supporters. 2025 is already starting rough, but we can get that number back up. And also, I'm doing tons of giveaways for all our supporters. Join the Discord server, that way you can enter. Alright, so as we jump in here, oh my gosh, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Am I seeing double? I mean, look, we have two eyelids. Wait, what were you thinking? Double? I bet you're seeing quadruple now. The virus is strong in you, but let's jump in. I'll show you exactly what I mean. This is a very important video because I'm going to show you how to properly use one of the best skills in the game. I would watch this because a lot of you actually don't know how to use magnifying slashes on extreme correctly, so let me cover that with you. That way you get the most damage possible. I'll show you the differences between using a skill of Plum, dashing, not dashing, between these skills usage. That way you understand how it works, and also how the actual effect here works, the base effect. You want to get this off every single time, otherwise you're losing out on so much damage. I'll show you everything here will be shown, that way you do understand. And just in case you're new to the channel, our damage numbers will be accurate because we do have our precision set all the way up to 99%. That means our minimum and maximum damage amounts will basically always be the same. That's why we have points in perception. We have no artifacts equipped as well, that way they don't influence our damage when it comes to crits or damage increases over time, and we have no blessing stones that mess for our damage. That way our damage numbers are pure and they can be referenced to each other, that way we can see what the damage differences will be. Now I do want to cover the skill as well so you understand how it works on paper, that way you do have a good understanding going into this video. As you can see here, when the skill is used, that being magnifying slashes on extreme, in sequence with a magnifying slashes, or just at the right time after a dash, the damage of magnifying slashes increases by 250% for 3 seconds, stacking up to 2 times. Very important. And also the effect right here, when using magnifying slashes and a skill sequentially, the user recovers 200 of their mana every single time. That is actually very important to note because if you use the skill correctly, you should see 1, 2, 3 of these mana pop-ups, or if you see 2, that means you did it wrong, which I'll show in this video, of course, that way you understand how to use it. And if you didn't know, when it comes to the skill, it does have 1, 2, 3 different abilities in it. So first slash, second slash, and a third slash. Very important to know. I will show you all this, don't worry. That way you maximize your damage correctly, of course. So let's jump in here and I'll show you how to use the skill incorrectly. That way we do get a baseline damage figure, and then I'll show you how to use it right. So we dash in, use Shadow Step, dash again, use a skill. You saw there are 2 mana pop-ups and our damage was 2.05 million. That's the damage we get if we don't use it correctly. Again, I'll put it somewhere here, potentially a replay. Yeah, I'll do it. So you should see a replay coming up right here. As you can see, we only get 2 mana pop-ups. That means we did not use the skill correctly, and our damage does reflect that. So let me show you now how to do it correctly, but let's do one more baseline test so you can see that the damage is accurate when you do it wrong. So let's go in, let's use Shadow Step, Extreme Evasion, boom, and wrong here, there we go. Again, 2.04 million, that's exactly what we had before. I just want to do that to show you how accurate the damage numbers are. No discrepancies because our precision stat is so high. So do keep note, 2 million is the baseline when we do it wrong. But now let's jump in and do it correctly. That way you can see what the damage comparison is like, because it'll be a ton and I mean a ton more damage. So we're gonna dash, extreme evasion, shadow step, and watch this. Look at the damage. Watch this. Boom. 3 million damage. Yes, that's right. From 2 million to almost 3 million. That's a huge, and I mean a huge damage difference. That's why it's so important to use the skill correctly. I'll do a replay somewhere around here where you can see 1, 2, and 3 mana regeneration pop-ups instead of 2. You know what? I'm gonna put my editing skills to the max right here. I'll put them side by side. The correct one on the left, the incorrect one on the right, playing boom. I should be doing it Zaf in the future, I'm sorry, but you can see the one on the left only had 2 mana pop-ups, but the one on the right does have 3. So let me do this test one more time. That way you can see how to do it correctly, but I'll explain how it works, of course, because I'm just saying correct, incorrect. What does that mean? So shadow step, dash, and you use the skill 1, 2, 3. Beautiful. And you saw there over 3 million damage. So Zaf, how do you do it? Very simple. Let me retry and show you. Basically, what you want to do is after dashing, you want to wait just a brief instance, okay? Don't use the skill right away. Once you dash, you can go ahead and use it. Not like that. You saw there were only 2 pop-ups. We waited too long. You want to dash and then just wait like literally milliseconds from after the dash does resolve and use your skill. Watch. I'm going to do it right here. So I'm going to dash and then right here. Boom, 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 boom. You saw there 3 mana pop-ups. Obviously, the damage is different because no shadow set, but your goal is to use a skill right after. So let me actually just show you one more time just so you can understand. It is kind of tricky to see at first, but you're just watching the mana pop-ups. I think it'll work here. Let's do it one more time. Boom, dash. Okay, shadow step, and watch. Watch carefully. I'm going to dash and then use it here. Boom, 1, 2, 3, and done. You saw that, right? Very, very, very precise timing, but you do get a lot more damage. Obviously, again, 1.6 million, just because we didn't have shadow step applied. But watch this. I'm going to use it again just to show you the comparison. So 1.6, remember that. No shadow step here. I'll do it incorrectly. The reason why it doesn't work when you dash and use the skill right away is because the effect doesn't proc correctly. So if I dash and spam it right here, boom, 2 mana pop-ups and only 1 million damage. So we lost like what? 600,000, 500,000 damage. Yeah, way too much damage lost. But the question now is, now that we know how to use it, after waiting just a little bit from our dash, should we use Plum in between? Because actually, let me show you. If you look at the skill, it does kind of resolve differently from what we're used to. So watch this, tap it once. You see there, the skill can be used again. Tap it twice. Again, one more proc of the skill. And if I use it one more time, boom. So magnifying slash just on extreme can be used 3 times. So the actual, quote unquote meta way to use the skill is to dash, use 1, use 2 instances of the skill, and then dash again, and then use the skill once more, only if you have a buffing weapon, such as Plum. Well, basically only if you have Plum. If you don't have Plum, just go ahead and dash, and then 1, 2, 3, boom, boom, boom. But if you do have Plum, this is the meta way. Let me show you the damage difference. So as we jump in here, let me dash. Now, I do want to make a very quick and important cut because if we dash twice, we do get a second effect of this right here, amplifying draw. Very, very important. We're getting a crit rate and crit damage bonus at the A3 mark. So that's why dashing twice will net us more damage. But when it comes to this test right here, you have to remember my jinwoo, as I'll show you right here, does not have any crit on him whatsoever. That means the influence of Plum will be so much more if we dash twice. And let me just go ahead and show you all the numbers right now. So here are all the exhibits, and I'll explain, of course. So exhibit A, this is with dash, and then so on extreme, so on extreme, so on extreme. This is done incorrectly, okay? This is exhibit B, this is dashing, then waiting, then so on extreme, and then so on extreme. This is the correct way to do it. This is the damage result, but if we do the extra dash method, these are the 2 damage results we get. So as you can see, if I dash, wait, so on extreme, dash, and then so on extreme again, this is the damage result, but this is without a crit being applied properly. This right here is with a good amount of crit. So we can get up to 4 million damage in comparison to the 3 million damage result. But remember, this is when jinwoo has no crit, meaning our Plum effect is just so much higher. But what happens if our crit is already high? What will the damage difference be? So let me show you. That's more important. than showing you, the odd RNG crit method. But as you can see still, it does net us a bit more damage, but let's just jump into it. I'll show you exactly what I mean. So right now our crit is at 6.44%. I do want to add in more crit, so let me just put on some random gloves with some crit rate on them. That should be easy enough to do, presumably. Boom. 4,500 crit. Let's take a random helmet as well. I should have one of crit. Boom. 2 crit. Equip that. Beautiful. And now let's put on a core as well, giving us some more crit. Yeah, let's just max out the crit. Get as much crit in as possible. That way, the boss's crit resistance doesn't affect our damage. Boom. Let's look, and we have a ton of crit, which is what we want. The crit damage should also be a bit higher, honestly speaking. That way, the crit damage influence as well isn't affecting our damage too much. So let me just put on some boots as well, giving us some crit damage. But I should actually change with artifacts. Let me put this one on, for example, and swap this one out. That way we don't have curse influencing our damage. Let's do something like greed. This one should be good. We have 3 crits, so no set bonuses being applied here. We have, 3 different sets. Perfect. And now we can test it again. Let's test one round of the proper way, so just waiting and then using our Sonic Streams. And then let's do a method where we do the dash, getting as much damage in as possible. So our 2 best methods. Now this will be the best case scenario without a double dash. Let's see what our damage result will be. There we go, we got 4.7 million. Let's run it back, that way we can see if the result is accurate. Again, if you're missing out on what we're doing, we're just dashing once and then using 3 procs of Sonic Stream properly, getting the 3 mana results coming in. One more time, let me do it. And that should be 3, boom. This time we got a lot more crit in. Let me run it back. We got 5.7 this time. Oh no. With the crit being applied, our damage is going to be all over the place. So we got 4.7 and 5.7. Let me do it again. Run it back. And hopefully around the same. This time we got 5.7, okay? So around that mark, one more time, just to be sure. Maybe the first result we had, I didn't crit enough. Or maybe I missed it. And here we go, final attempt. Boom. Should be 3 mana procs and around the 5.3 mark. After one more time. I just want to see consistent damage results coming in. Give me a second here. Alright, so we got 5.3. I'm assuming it'll be around the 4.7 to 5.7 mark. On average, we can say around 5.5 million damage. Now let's try it the proper way by dashing one more time. Hopefully, we see an instant damage increase. Otherwise, this testing will drive me nuts. So with the proper method, we got 5.56. Let's try it again. This time we got 5.4 again. Just to clarify, I'm dashing. And this time we got 6 million damage where I did dash one more time. So we can notice just a very slight damage increase, but again, this is dependent on how much crit damage you have. Now let's watch very, very carefully with a perfect Sonic Stream double dash result. What will our damage be? So boom, dash, use the skill twice, and then dash again, use it. So around the 5.5 mark, I would say consistently the damage does seem to be just a marginal hair more, but you're wasting a dash, you're making it harder to get off, and you can fail, resulting in less damage being applied. So I don't know if this method will be worth it, but it can result in obviously more damage. We get the extra everything coming in. That was a bad run, but we do get a lot of extra damage from this, so it's up to you if you want to use it. I prefer just doing the perfect way where we dash once and we just spam our Sonic Stream. Make sure not to hold down the skill, of course. That is not the best way to do it. And again, over 5 million damage, so up to you which one you want to use. I would say as long as you just dash once and make sure to spam Sonic Stream, getting those 3 mana pop-ups, you should be good to go. But again, if you do want to min-max your damage, this is clearly the way to go. So far, our highest damage and most average damage results have been obviously from doing 2 dashes. One more time just to show you, boom, around 6 million damage. So let me just put it on the sheet just so you can see. So having proper stats exhibit Y, this being our best result using this method right over here. Dashing, waiting, and then triple Sonic Stream, we got a max of 5.7 million damage, but when it came to Exhibit Z, doing 2 dashes, our highest result was around the 6 million mark, so we can note a noticeable difference, but still, the difference isn't going to be that crazy, at least from my testing, but still, it is a notable difference where it can make the difference between maybe a win or a loss in whatever game mode. So I just want to make all these distinctions for you when it comes to each method, the RNG involved, the crit bonus, etc. That way you understand exactly what to do. But I do hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to drop your like and subscribe to the channel. That way I know you want more content like this. And also, don't forget to support us for free on Netmarble's creator program. That way I can send you free codes. Yes, free codes sent directly to you. The link is down below. We have giveaways as well, so make sure you support us. That way you don't miss out. On that note, this is your Code King Zaf, signing out.